Horizon Zero Dawn is an action RPG in a huge open world, but it's not like The Witcher, the Elder Scrolls games, or other open world games. I'll tell you why in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit that like button. Horizon is a huge open world and Guerrilla Games calls it an action RPG. But according to the preview from GamesTM, you should totally check it out if you want more Horizon info. I put a link down in the description below to read this magazine. Horizon Zero Dawn is, according to them, an action game first. It is mostly because of the intense tactical combat. Quote, "It's a far cry from the combat systems in Batman, Arkham and Assassin's Creed, far more fluid and intuitive than the scripted systems of The Witcher and Dragon Age, precise in a way that Skyrim could only dream of. Horizon Zero Dawn might brand an action RPG, but it often feels like an action game first." End quote. This is according to GamesTM after they played Horizon during a recent hands-on session. So this is very interesting indeed, and why this is the case, why is this combat or why does Horizon feel like an action game first? Well, it's mostly because of the incredible AI of the enemies in Horizon. They are unpredictable and require a tactical approach every time. As you know, there are different types of machines in Horizon and they all have their own weaknesses and behavior. Certain machines will seek to keep watch of the weaker constructions, so it could be wise to approach them first, so to kill them first in, for example, stealth mode, or kill them from afar with fire arrows. You could also maybe hack them to then let them fight for you for a short period of time. Every encounter could feel like a boss fight in Horizon Zero Dawn. It's all not very scripted in a traditional sense. The AI will adapt to both the scenario and the surroundings. Guerrilla Games calls this free flowing. So when you go on a hunt in Horizon Zero Dawn, you have to think of your strategy. Will you first shoot off the armor of the enemy to expose their weak points, or will you make a trap and then lure them into that, or will you use your bow and the numbers of arrows to hit the enemy that way? You can also shoot off the weapons of larger enemies and then use them against them. It's very interesting that these bigger machines take also more planning to take down. They require deft movement and counter strikes. In 2016, Game Informer also had an interesting look at Horizon Zero Dawn combat, where we also see the planning and the tactic that is needed to succeed. Every encounter has to be its own challenge, according to the game director of Horizon. What you see here is the exclusive Game Informer gameplay. You can see that they first scan a new machine to then expose their weaknesses. For example, oh, this machine is good versus fire and strong against something else. Guerrilla is developing the combat with three phases in mind. One, prepare, so scan, lay down traps. The other one is engage, so how you fight. And the other one is escape, so where you of course get the hell out of the encounter. Every phase has their own actions, so that's very interesting. Of course, every time you kill an enemy in an RPG, you get XP, and in Horizon Zero Dawn this is also the case. With that XP you can unlock new abilities that will also help you in the combat, like the concentration mode that will slow down the time so you can better focus on hitting the weak spots of the enemy. I really like the tactical meets skill action approach of the combat in Horizon Zero Dawn. It really adds to the experience. I think where a lot of RPGs are very statistic based, oh, you got a lot of strength so you do a lot of damage, your actions here in Horizon are more important than the equipment you wear. So the equipment still helps, but in the end if you don't roll away you will just die. So it really looks a little bit like Monster Hunter, where you also have like armor that really benefits. Your weapon is of course super important, but if you don't know when to attack, you are still down. So this is that, but then in a huge open world. And yes, while the AI of the enemies and the tactical combat might be different, there are also a lot of things that make Horizon an RPG. So things that Horizon does that other RPGs does as well. Things that we can expect from the genre, like for example the quest. There are main quests in the game that you will progress to find out what's going on, to progress in the story, but there are also a lot of secondary quests, side quests, and even open world activities, free roam activities that you will just run around and you see something happen. If you engage in those activities, you will find a lot of backstory as well, according to this preview, so that's super exciting. There are also a lot of skills in this game. I already discussed like the leaked images of this preview event where someone was like putting skill points in these skills, so unlocking skills. There are 3 different trees: Stalker, Brave and Forger, and well, this preview doesn't really go into what this is, what we can expect in those skill trees. It's still important or interesting to see. There will be rich customizations of weapons and outfits as well, And for example, if you want a different outfit that is good versus these types of enemies, or good in this desert environment, for example, you have to befriend different tribes. And there are different tribes in this game, and some are like more rare than others, and the more rare ones will have way better outfits and weapons. So for example, if you find this weird tribe, befriend them, you can buy these outfits, as far as I understand. So that is super interesting, of course, and that can really make this gameplay even go deeper and deeper. And then those outfits you can upgrade, and the weapons you can upgrade as well. In the other leaked image we saw the bow of Aloy, and we saw like 2 circles underneath that, and I thought, okay, that's weapon swapping and stuff like that, but that's not the case, as someone pointed out in the comments as well. No, that is like where you put some sort of crystals, or you upgrade your bow to make them even more effective. The more I read about this game and hear the developers talk about it, the more I feel like, wow, this is like a huge game. At first I was like, okay, this is not going to be as big as a Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game. I mean, Guerrilla Games was known for first-person shooters, pretty linear ones, and this one is like open world. It's a huge world that you get to explore. But the more I hear about it, I think that it's huge, and also like open for everyone. For example, it's streamlined, so you don't really have to spend minutes into menus, but it's all pretty straightforward, so people that don't really play RPGs can still understand it, but people that are really into hardcore RPGs can still invest a lot of time into coming up with the most effective tactic to take on this enemy. I really like that it looks like to be serving both audiences. So we can expect some things that we see in other RPGs, but yeah, the combat should be like different, make Horizon different. But there is also something else that will make this super different than, of course, other RPGs, and that's the world. In what open world game can you get chased by a cyborg T-Rex while making new arrows on the fly? So you can really craft whenever you want, so you don't have to go to some sort of crafting station. Why the Fallout games never spoke to me is because of the world. I don't really like the setting, but with Horizon it's something super new and exciting as well. A lot of RPGs are about exploring because it's an open world, go wherever you want, but it really also helps if you are curious yourself and you can't wait to find what's in the corner of that map. There are a lot of mysteries and I can't wait to uncover them. I can't wait for Horizon Zero Dawn to release, but until we reach that point, I'll have way more Horizon content up on the channel, discussing the latest news, giving my reactions and way more. So be sure to subscribe to stay up to date. Thanks a lot for watching, like the video if you did, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.